Deputy Speaker, and I shall endeavour to be brief. Many of the points about the collapse of Carillion have already been made by my honourable friend, the member for Leeds West, and the honourable member for Harwich. Carillion's headquarters was in Wolverhampton, and of its 18,000 or so UK employees, some 450 were employed there in the headquarters of the company. So the city that I represent has a particular interest in the story of the collapse of this company. And 6 months after the collapse, there are still major questions about corporate governance, about audit, about ongoing costs, and of course, perhaps most fundamentally, about the policy implications raised by the collapse. I want to thank the two select committees for Work and Pensions and for Business for their joint report, and it paints a very stark picture. It describes a story, and I quote, of recklessness, hubris and greed. On the accounts of the company, it describes them as having, I quote again, misrepresented the reality of the business. The report sets out how the company collapsed, how the internal checks and balances failed, and it makes damning indictments of the company's leadership, the system of auditing, culminating in the recommendation that the whole audit system be referred to the Competition and Markets Authority. So others will focus on particular parts of this story, but the part I want to focus on is the role of government and the decisions before government when a company of this nature is in danger of collapse. And I've written to the Minister before about these questions because Carillion is a specific type of company. It was a private company, but it was engaged for much of its activity in the delivery of public services, and therefore the responsibilities cross both public and private sector. Now, the National Audit Office report on this issue, published last month, says that in the dying days of the company, they asked for a loan of £160 million from government and a deferment in tax payments of £63 million. Now, this is a difficult decision for government. What do you do as ministers or as officials when a company comes and asks for substantial funds like that? Ministers and the government machine in those circumstances have to make an assessment between loaning that kind of money and letting the company go under.